everyone, Janie here, and I am super excited to share something with you today. It is something I have never seen before, I have never heard of before, but my little brain said, give it a try. And I did, and it worked, and I just couldn't wait to share it with you. So, what I'm going to show you today is how to print your own napkins for napkin crafting. I'm talking about printing whatever images you want on your napkins to use for napkin crafting. So if you are an avid napkin crafter or a brand new napkin crafter or somebody who wants to learn more about napkin crafting, I am going to show you today. And this is something you can do with a laser printer or an inkjet printer. And I am going to show you 2 ways to apply these napkins to your projects. So let's head on over to my craft table and get started. For my demonstration today, I'm using this digital image from SheepSki Designs. It's called Breezy Beach Walk, and I'll put a link below in the description box so that you can find this image. And I printed it out, and then I colored it with colored pencils and chalk and scanned it into my computer to use. Now, if your printer doesn't have a scanner, then you can get a free scanner app for your cell phone, or just take a picture of whatever image you want and send it to your computer to use. You can also use images that you find online that are pre-colored if you would like. The first thing you're going to need are napkins that have white on them. And you can tell that without even opening the package, because the back will show the white, and packages like this will not have any white on them. So I know a lot of napkin crafters have complained. They end up buying a pack of napkins and they feel cheated because they open it up and what they have is a bunch of white. And they think, man, I just bought these napkins and I have one little square. But this is the good news. The rest of this does not go to waste. So what you're going to do is cut out one of your squares or whatever size that you need. And let's do that here really quick. We can just cut. I'm just going to cut out one square. And you're going to have to measure your square so that you know what size it is. So I'm going to measure not where the black design is, but I'm going to measure, and I have 4.5 inches by about 4 1/4 that direction. So I know that my image needs to fit within this space right here. And then you're going to need either a piece of printer paper or a piece of cardstock. It doesn't matter, both will work. One of the things I like about using cardstock is it's just firmer, but it doesn't really matter. So we're not going to peel off the back of the napkin yet. We're going to have to do that later. But you're going to have to decide where, you're going to be putting this, where your image is going to print. So a lot of people, they know that their image is going to print in a certain place. Other people have a program like I do. I have Publisher, so I can decide where my image is going to print at. And so you're going to lay it on there, and then you're going to need washi tape. To be honest with you, I like using this purple tape that is a ThermaWeb product, but it's pretty wide, as you can tell, and I just want something skinny, and I happen to have this really skinny washi tape. So I'm going to peel some off, and I'm going to tape it right around the edges. And you don't have to put it down the sides, just the top and bottom. And make sure you don't want any loose edges that are going to get, caught in your printer. Because believe me, I jammed my printer once doing this, but I don't think it had anything to do with the napkin. It just had to do with the paper wrinkling. And if you know which direction is going to go into your printer first, that's the side you really need to have taped good. And then the bottom part, you don't have to worry about as much. But if you don't know, then just make sure that you cover the edges of the top and bottom of the napkin. Let's see here. Okay, so I have it taped on there. The sides are not going to matter. Just, like I said, the edge that's going to go through, you don't want it to get caught. So what you're going to have to do is maybe measure, like, okay, I got this like 2 inches from the sides. So I know that, when I'm on looking at my publisher program, then I kind of know where my image is going to land. But like I said, your computer, your program, what you use for printing, you will know better, because maybe you're going to be doing this on a 4x6 photo size instead of a whole sheet like this. And so you'll just, have it like that, and you'll put it in like you're printing a photo. So however you print, you already know how you print. I'm not going to teach you how to print. I'm just showing you how to place the napkin on the cardstock. And then you're going to put it in your printer just like you would to print anything else that you print. And you will have whatever image that you want made to the size that's going to fit on your napkin. So I'm going to go run this through my printer, and I will be right back. Okay, this is where you get to laugh at me. I put it in the wrong direction the first time, so I actually have an image right here I can cut out and use for something else. But here it is, printed on the napkin. Isn't that just awesome? So now what you're going to do is carefully peel this off, and we have it up here. It's not on your image, so you don't have to worry about that. But you just go along and carefully peel it off. Okay, there it is. And now you need to remove that white layer that napkins have that a lot of people don't realize are there. But you're going to want that removed before you adhere this napkin to your project. Okay. And now, I know it looks really pale because we don't have it up against something, but there you can see it. So now you need to decide if you're going to use your scissors and trim around this, or whether you're going to take a slightly wet paintbrush, just a tiny paintbrush, slightly wet, and make a line around the edges and just kind of gently tear it apart. And I'm thinking for this, I'm going to do that paintbrush technique, so you'll get to see how that's done. I like to use either a very fine paintbrush or my fine water brush. And for this, I'm going to use my water brush and just kind of go along here. And actually, having it on my white tabletop here, it's actually hard for me to see how much water I'm getting on it because it's on white. So let me see here. Lift it up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Let me tear that part up there. Okay, I'm just going to kind of put my hand right along here and remove this. And remove that. Okay, so it doesn't give a completely smooth edge, but that's good because I really don't like a blunt edge when I'm working with my napkins. So you saw how I did that. I'm going to do that all the way around and just gently tear on the wet area. This is the look I got around the edges by using my water brush and you may be a little bit better at getting those edges smooth, but I actually kind of like them a little bit ragged like that. If you already have your own way of doing it, other than using a wet paintbrush, a water brush, or scissors, you just cut out or tear out your napkin image any way that you want. Now, isn't that the coolest thing ever, being able to print your own napkins? I mean, I love it because now I can use any image I want, and all of those white spaces on those napkins don't go to waste. So I've printed out that image twice, this one with my laser printer, this one with my inkjet printer. And as you can see, they're slightly different colors. I do not know why one printer prints, different color than the other one, but it does. But anyways, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you how to apply the inkjet one without smearing the color, because that's a really big thing with inkjet printers. If you don't let them dry long enough, or even if you do sometimes, if you put something over them, get them wet, let's say with Mod Podge or whatever, sometimes they can blur or smear a little bit. So that's the first thing I'm going to show you, is how to apply this without that happening. And so I'm going to be setting my laser printer one aside, and this is the project that I'm going to be doing. And you can see there's like a white patch right here because I kind of gave it kind of a streaked design, and I didn't want that to show through the napkin, so I actually gave it a little bit whiter spot right there, and that's going to be where the napkin goes. So let me get started on showing you how to do this. For this technique, whatever surface that you're going to be applying your napkin to, and this goes for any napkin you want to use, but especially for the ones that we printed out with the inkjet printer, you're going to be applying Mod Podge. And I think it's best, me personally, to probably put 2 to 3 layers of Mod Podge, letting it dry in between each layer. And so that's what I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to be covering this with 3 layers, and then I'm going to be back when it dries. My 3 layers of Mod Podge have dried, and I am now ready to attach my napkin. And by the way, if you hear any weird noises and pounding and saws, it's because my husband is working in his shop today. So I apologize if we get interrupted by any noises. So what I'm going to use to put this on there is my clover iron. And this is a really cool little iron. It comes with different attachments, including a bigger one of these iron-shaped irons. And this size actually could have worked, but I decided to go with the smaller one. And if you don't have one of these, and I'll try to put a link below to where you can get these because they are just awesome. But if you don't have one of those, maybe you have one of these, little craft irons. So hopefully you have an iron to do this with, because this is an awesome technique. And you can use parchment paper over it if you would like. I'm going to start off using nothing, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to be putting mine up here a little bit higher, not all the way to the bottom, because I have some decorating plans that I'm going to do. So I think I've got that about right where I want it. And I am just ironing, gently smoothing it down. And I really don't have a time limit to tell you how long to iron. And especially since I'm using the smaller one, I'm just getting smaller areas at a time. All right. There we go. It's nicely attached. Isn't that awesome? And this was, with the inkjet printer, so I didn't have to worry about smearing anything or blurring it. You might be able to put Mod Podge over it without blurring it, I have done that before, but sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. My tutorial today is about how to print on napkins and how to apply them to your projects. It is not about the finished project, but I'm going to take a minute and go ahead and share it with you anyway. So after I got the picture on there, the napkin on there, I then used some Mod Podge and put some sand around the edges. And yep, that's actually sand. So I added that. And then before I added these other elements, I used Mod Podge Matte Spray Clear Acrylic Sealer. And I actually gave this about 3 coats of spray just to protect everything and to protect the napkin. And then I added these elements that I've cut out with my Cuttlebug and colored with Distress Inks, and added them, and then gave it 3 more coats of the spray-on Mod Podge. And then I used twine to cover the handles with. So this is just really cute. I love the way it turned out. And if you're wondering, what can you do with this? Well, one of the things I was thinking was it might be good sitting on a desk with a notepad in it and a pen. So that's just one idea. But I thought I would go ahead and share my finished project with you quickly. And now we'll get on to the rest of the video. Now I am going to put the napkin that I printed out with my laser printer on this piece of wood that I've painted white, and it would work just as well on the side that I did not paint, but for what I'm going to be doing with this, I wanted it painted white. And you can put the laser printed napkin on the same way we did the inkjet printed one, so it will work either way. But I just wanted to show you that with the laser printed one, you don't have to worry about the colors smearing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Mod Podge on here, and then I'm going to put the napkin on there. So let's get started. Okay. And be very careful, because when you get it on there wet, you know, just like any napkin crafting that you're doing, you have to be careful that you don't tear the napkin. You get Mod Podge on your fingers, make sure that you don't try rubbing your napkin with the Mod Podge on your fingers, because it will stick to you and tear. Here we go. Absolutely beautiful. And your napkin will be adhered this way. And then if you want, you can, when this dries, you can either spray the Mod Podge acrylic sealer like I did, or you can put, 1 or 2 coats of Mod Podge over the top of it. When putting napkins on this way, I always get a few little wrinkles, but I actually like that look. I love the texture. So you may be able to get it on really smooth. I have never been able to, but it still looks awesome. So now I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge over the top. I held it up close while I did this, just so you can see that it's not smearing, and when it's dry, I will be able to show you even better. Now the Mod Podge is dry, and you can see that it did not blur the colors or the image at all. It came out absolutely beautiful. And what I did was I added twine all the way around the edges and around the front here, creating a little frame. And I added that twine using my Beacons 3-in-1 glue, because I pretty much love this and use it for everything. It does a great job. So
You can print your own napkins, whether you have an inkjet printer or a laser printer. You can use these on any of the projects that you use your napkins for. So it doesn't have to be, wooden projects like these. You can even do this with cardstock for your paper crafting projects. Or, well, if you're into napkin crafting, you can use it for whatever you use your napkins for. It's just that now you have the ability to create napkins that fit your needs.
Thank you all for watching today, and I hope that you are as excited about this as I am, and give it a try. And any links that you're going to need, down in the description box. Just hit show more and it will drop down and you'll find everything you need. So happy napkin crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.